So it's been a while since I recorded my last video, and this is due to a lot of things going on in my life. I've been kind of busy. I've had some issues. I had to like redo my setup, move it to a different room. I had to paint the room. So that is mainly why I haven't been recording or posting on Twitter, because I've just basically been pretty busy in my life. So we are finally back at it again, and today we are going to be reviewing two wonderful pads, which are going to be the InfintyMice Control and the InfintyMice Speed. And the Shogun, yes, it is a control surface. I have my other unit right here, which is the same Control V2, but this is the pink version and is a lot more worn down and just, you see, dirty. So I just don't want to use this in the video. But it's pretty much the same surface, same everything, except that the Shogun is a limited version that is currently sold out. Before I start giving out my opinion of this mouse pads, these pads were sent out by InfintyMice. However, this does not change my opinion at all, and I am giving my true and honest opinion as a customer and a reviewer. So to get started, I want to talk about the Shogun, or the InfintyMice Control V2. Since it's the one I use the most, or at least the surface I use the most, because as some of you guys know, I am more of a tech FPS gamer, or a control focused mouse pad enjoyer, however you want to call it. And well, I've had an amazing time with these mouse pads. I'm going to start off with the quality of it. They have significantly improved the quality from the first batch, or the first versions of their mouse pads. As you guys know, they had a lot of issues with their first batch and their first mouse pads. Myself being a victim of this, where the surface will detach from the base, the stitching was like all coming off as well. Just some other issues they had. But in this current versions, and this V2 versions, they have been improved significantly more. Also, there are some new surfaces and they perform amazing. It's still the same IPU custom base, which is very beautiful, and never had an issue with it. As you guys can see, it passes the finger test with no problem. It doesn't move in my desk at all, and the stitching, it is gonna be under the surface level, which is pretty, and it is noticeable actually. And some other mouse pads, the stitching, even though they claim is under surface, is sometimes not as noticeable or not as significant. But on this one, it is going to be pretty noticeable and pretty easy to come off and on from the mouse pad. Never have an issue with gliding off of it and then getting trapped or feeling the stitching on my arm or whatever. That all has been great. And to talk a little bit more of the surface, this is a very slow control mouse pad. When I first received this mouse pad and opened it, I was honestly very surprised on how smooth the surface was, because it's honestly very silky smooth, like feels like a cloud, that kind of smooth. And like I said, it is gonna be very slow. And if I had to put this in a scale of speedness from 1 to 5, 5 being the slowest, I would say it is kind of a 4, almost like nearly the 5 in terms of slowness, kind of closer. So it's gonna be slower, for example, than the Saturn Pro. I'm gonna bring my Saturn Pro right here, which is also worn down, and actually so it's a little bit more fair. I am gonna bring my worn in pink Control V2. Again, it is gonna be pretty smooth, but it's also pretty slow. I would say in terms of speed, the Saturn Pro is gonna be like a 3, almost 4 in terms of speed, being 5 the slowest again. And just to compare them real quick, the stitching, it is going to be like pretty similar, pretty high quality, very premium in hand. Yeah, and I believe I have the soft version for all of them. And the softness, it does feel like pretty similar to the Saturn Pro in this case. And if I were to bring my GSR SE, it is going to be as well a very slow pad. Mine is basically new. I have barely used it. This base is also going to be like a lot more towards the mid side. But if you are like a BenQ Zoe GSR-C or GSR 2 or 1 owner, and you want like a similar experience but with stitching, bigger sizing, less pricing, because these pads are $35 for the 490 by 420 and $40 for the 490 by 490 base sizing. Definitely a good pickup for anyone who is looking for a slower pad. I'm comparing it to the Saturn Pro in this video, just to say that it is going to be slower. So if you are looking for a slower pad, this is going to be totally for you. And for $35 or $40 in the case if you have the 490 by 490 sizing, it's still an amazing price. You are going to save up a little bit of money compared to, for example, like the Saturn Pro, the Artisan Zero, and just similar pads like that. And to move on to the InfintyMice Speed V2, I was a heavy user of their InfintyMice Speed V1, and this surface, it is going to be a little bit different from that one. The last one, it reminded me, and I can't remember exactly how it is now, but it did remind me to the Fnatic Jet mousepad felt. And this one is going to be like kind of a different surface, more similar, for example, to the Aero mousepad from 4114. It's going to have that same like windbreaker kind of feel texture to it. Also like pretty similar speed as well, just a different base, coloring, well, overall design. The same benefits from the control, obviously, undersurface stitching, the same IPU beautiful base, same pricing as well, no price difference right there. And it is going to be pretty fast, like I said, more similar to the 4114 Aero in terms of speed, being like a 4, almost 5, for example. But what is going to be, and in this case, slower, I'm going to bring out the Coruscant Ninja V2, which is going to be a slightly slower, but it's also going to be a different kind of surface and experience, with the Ninja being a little bit more tough in terms of softness, also as well like a smaller sizing and a different obviously design. But if you are like a current Coruscant Ninja owner and you want to like have a bigger mouse pad with like a little bit of faster feeling but still remain on cloth, or you can definitely go for the InfintyMice V2. And there's also a mid base, so they have soft and mid. So like if you like the mid surface from the alpha cell of the Coruscant Ninja, and definitely go for the mid base on the InfintyMice. I have not tried it, as like I said, I have only the soft versions. But in terms of speed, in my opinion, the InfintyMice is going to be a little bit faster. But like if we want to talk about what's faster than the InfintyMice speed, I think the Shidokai V2, it is definitely going to be a lot faster, and also like a different base feeling and also softness. So if you are a current Shidokai V2 owner and you feel like it's too fast, then you can definitely maybe give it a try to the InfintyMice Speed V2, and you are gonna still have the premium feeling, well worth your money, and actually for a lot less price, less than half the price of the Shirinkai V2, if I'm not mistaken, and actually like a bigger sizing. So like I said, it is gonna still have a very premium feeling in hand, and during gameplay I've never had an issue. I've been playing mostly Overwatch with this, so definitely very good for tracking games in the X and Y switching speed, like virtually to like very little resistance when changing directions, and just such a great experience overall. And you can pair this with faster skates. I am using the stock PTFE Sora V2 skates, but like these are like normal PTFE skates, actually kind of slow, and you can just see how fast this thing is. So just to go over my general thoughts, or like my conclusion of this mouse pads, these are gonna be two very great pads that I can easily recommend to the most of the people out there, whether if you want a more controlled or more fast. They are going to be incredibly nice and reliable, and for an amazing price of either $35 or $40, that is such a very nice pricing. And just to make the most out of your money, these pads are definitely a good pick. So before actually InfintyMice sent me out these, I did pick up a Shogun on my own. It is going to be a 490 by 490 sizing, and I am actually going to give that one away since InfintyMice sent me this one. I am going to make a giveaway that you can see on my Twitter. The link is going to be in the description, so if you guys want to participate, it is only going to be for the US, since shipping to other countries it is going to be a lot more expensive. So that is going to be it for me. And just to end up, I am going to remind you guys, if you guys want to subscribe to the channel and also my Spanish channel, that would be great and help me a lot. I am a little bit currently backlogged with products. I have to review some other stuff. Like as you guys see, I have 4 mice here, even 5 that I have to review, and I have some other mouse pads. I am probably going to throw out some polls on Twitter to what's next. So that is going to be it for this video. Thanks so much to InfintyMice again for sending out these mouse pads. I see you next time. Ciao, ciao.